Dirk Devontae Banks, better known as Little Durk, some know him as Durkio Smirkio. Today, we take a deep dive and look at the question, did rap make him do it? Today, we will explore the perfect storm of music, violence, and influence in a story that has gripped headlines and stirred debates nationwide. Chicago drill rapper Little Durk faces allegations of murder for hire. The arrest of this prominent artist raises complex questions about the forces that may have contributed to his situation. Could the pressures of fame, the legacy of fallen friends, and the relentless demands of the music industry have created the perfect storm that has led to such a fate? This theoretical exploration delves into the intertwined worlds of rap music, urban life, and corporate greed. Today, we will examine whether the culture surrounding hip hop can push its stars to the brink, where they do the unthinkable and commit murder for hire. Let's get straight to it. This is the Urban Torch Live and Direct, and I am your host, Ishmael Hamid. Welcome.
Once again, we back at it like a trap addict. Yeah, buddy, with a new episode of the Urban Torch, live and direct. And I'm your host, Ishmael. Yes, sir.
In a case that has fascinated the nation, Grammy Award winning Chicago drill rapper Little Durk was arrested in October 2024 on federal charges claiming his involvement in a murder for hire plot targeting rival rapper Quando Rondo. This development has ignited discussions about the complex relationships between rap music, violence, and the powerful pressures faced by artists rising from the streets in urban communities. And so we begin this discussion today with the loss of King Von and the pressures to retaliate because it was a lot of people instigating and saying that Little Durk didn't slide for Von and bop, bop, bop. So Little Durk's close friendship with fellow rapper King Von was a well documented bond, one tragically cut short by Von's death in 2020. For many, the pain of losing a friend is private, but for Durk, it was public. Magnified by fans, his gang affiliations, and the unspoken yet palpable expectations of saving face or getting down where you get mad at, sliding for your homies, knocking down your ops, and that there though. You know what I mean? So in urban communities, the need to project strength is often a survival mechanism. And to that, the hypermasculinity and bravado embedded in rap culture and the stakes grow exponentially higher. In urban communities where projecting strength is vital, then the expectation in the get your get back for your homie culture can become overwhelming. This incident raises questions about whether did Dirk feel required or obligated to retaliate not only to honor his friend King Von, but also to uphold his image and his reputation as an artist so that his career would not suffer in the music industry? And ultimately, did he feel he was compelled or obligated to retaliate because of the pressures of keeping it real with the streets? If true, this will reflect a disturbing trend where the very act of making it out the hood through rap does not exempt one from its gravitational pull of death or jail, like with King Von and Little Durk being in jail. People try to escape the hood, they try to escape poverty, try to escape lack in jail. So it's a damn shame that someone like Durk could make it out the hood to the level of status and money and influence that he reached and still end up in jail. And for people like King Von and Nipsey Hussle and Mo 3 and different people from urban communities to rise to the level of fame and fortune and still end up finding the same fate of death or jail. Next up, we will look at the forces of the music business. The record labels and the corporate executives that sign artists like Little Durk and how these corporations profit from the business of street beefs. Major record labels have long been accused of fueling and profiteering from the culture of street beef, street wars, or conflicts between artists within the hip hop industry to drive their sales and fuel engagement. These public rivalries generate buzz, clicks, and ultimately millions of dollars. These industry executives' orchestrated beefs can escalate tensions, leading to real world violence. Record labels and media outlets may prioritize profits over the well being of the artists and communities involved, perpetuating a cycle where violence is both a marketing tool and a tragic outcome with no regard for the damage that is potentially done for these decisions. For artists like Little Durk, this creates a dangerous situation to be put in the middle of. The more violent or sensational their lyrics in their songs, and the more extreme and destructive violent actions in their lives, the more marketable they become to the music business executives. And the more sales and money these big record labels stand to gain. But as I said, the consequences of these decisions are often devastating consequences that lead to real world violence that claims lives and freedom, like the death of King Von and Durk being locked up in jail. Could it be that Durk and others are caught in a vicious cycle where record labels dangle wealth and fame while encouraging music that glorifies violence? Fans in turn demand authenticity, expecting artists to live the lives that they rap about. And in this context, acts of violence are not just personal choices, but responses to social, economic, and psychological pressures from the streets, from the fans, and from the executives in the record labels. To fully understand this perfect storm, we have to focus on the forces of the streets now. So, next, we zoom in and take a deeper look at the forces of the streets in the urban communities that move our minds, shape our perceptions, and influences our behavior when it comes to listening to rap music. To truly understand the dynamic influence of rap music in urban communities, you have to first understand vibrational energy and the ceremonial nature of the war drum. Music has always had the power to influence people, stir people's emotions, elevate the mind to higher levels of vibrational energy, and move people and mobilize people to action. In the context of rap music, particularly gangster rap or subgenres like drill music, aggressive lyrics and beats can resonate very deeply with listeners, especially those in urban communities. Instinctively channeling the spirits of the ancestors, rappers in the urban communities are embracing and beating the war drum in their music to move the minds and bodies of people in the streets. This phenomenon of beating the war drum or beating the drums of war in their music can inadvertently incite violence through the song's lyrics, glorify a lifestyle of recklessness, and perpetuate a culture of death and violence that many artists like Durk and the fans who are listening to his music or similar music in the streets are desperately striving and struggling to escape. The war drum ceremonially is a positive thing. Historically, war drums have been used to unite tribes and to prepare the tribes for battle. In a similar way, raps, beats, and lyrics can act as modern day war drums, inciting tribal instincts within urban communities. But instead of uniting against external threats, these instincts often turn inward, pitting neighborhoods, communities, and artists against each other. Drill music, a subgenre known for its raw depiction of street life, exemplifies this phenomenon. While it's simplistic to blame rap music alone for these incidents, it's evident that the coming together of personal loss, industry pressures, and industry influences contribute to a perfect storm that could possibly lead to such outcomes. Addressing this issue requires a multi-layer approach, including holding record labels accountable for promoting harmful narratives, providing support system for artists, and fostering community initiatives that offer alternatives to violence in the streets. Little Durk's case serves as a sad reminder of the complexities of the intersection of art, commerce, and community. While no single factor can be blamed, it is clear that something needs to change and that we have to become a lot more aware of our influences. As the legal proceedings unfold, it prompts a broader reflection on the cultural and systemic changes needed to prevent similar tragedies in the future. As the public debates Durk's guilt or innocence, perhaps the bigger focus should be on dismantling the systems that perpetuates these cycles. Stop perpetuating a culture of violence and death. Communities must find ways to channel our frustrations into positive change, and artists must recognize their power, not just to entertain, but to influence and to inspire. For now, this is the end of this segment. And thank you for watching. This is the Urban Torch live and direct, and I am your host, Ishmael. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and press that notification bell. Why? So you can get more videos like this in the future later when I post, man. You hear me? Let's go, man. Yes, sir.